Dr. Jill Stein, Green Party presidential candidate, your response.
So first, to ensure that our students have a strong, secure economic future, how about we bail out the students instead of bailing out the banks for the fourth time? The Federal Reserve just announced its latest quantitative easing, where it will be spending $40 billion a month to bail out the banks for what's effectively the fourth bailout. Yet we've really gone nowhere with these bailouts. It's time to bail out the students instead, so that way students can enter into their professional life, their careers, without the deep burden of debt that they currently now have. While we're at it, let's make public higher education free. We owe it to our young people to give them a good, strong start in life, to have the security that a college degree provides. We provided a high school degree throughout the 20th century, but in the 21st, a college degree is essential for that security. And we know this pays for itself from the GI Bill, in which every dollar taxpayers invested in student public higher education, $7 was returned in economic benefits to the economy. And as for jobs, we're actually calling for a program that has a track record of actually creating jobs. That is a Green New Deal for America. We want to directly create jobs, not simply provide tax breaks for corporations or tax breaks for the job creators to move their jobs to China or India. The Green New Deal will create 25 million jobs, will put an end to unemployment, and will jumpstart the green economy. And that means putting a halt to climate change, as well as making wars for oil obsolete. And the Green New Deal puts national resources, national funding into the hands of communities so that they can decide what kinds of jobs they need to become sustainable economically, socially, and environmentally. So it includes a spectrum of jobs in the green sector, as well as jobs that meet our social needs. And these are public services and public works, like during the New Deal that got us out of the Depression. And these are jobs you can get by going down not to an unemployment office, but to an employment office and actually getting a job, as well as small businesses and worker-owned cooperatives.
Virgil Goode of the Constitution Party in Rocky Mount, Virginia.
All right. Thank you very much, Amy Goodman. To get jobs in America, neither President Obama nor Governor Romney are focusing on some of the key issues. First issue, we need to eliminate illegal immigration, keep illegals from coming into this country, taking jobs from American citizens. Secondly, we need to have a near complete moratorium on green card admissions to this country until unemployment is under 5%. We give hundreds of thousands of green cards per year to working age persons that come into the United States, take good paying jobs from students that have just graduated like Jeremy. We need to preserve jobs in America for American citizens first, and none of the other presidential candidates are addressing this issue. It's not politically correct, but it is one thing we could do right away to have jobs in America for American citizens first. I would also end Obamacare, which is a real restraint on job creation among small businesses. They are fearful of the fines, the taxes, and also the regulations that's going to be imposed on them under this. We can have more jobs in small businesses if Obamacare is eliminated. I also favor more energy growth in all areas in this country, drilling for oil, drilling for natural gas, utilizing coal, and I like alternatives too. But we need to be energy independent, produce more energy in this country, be an exporter like Canada and Russia have become. That has helped the economies and provided thousands upon thousands of more jobs in those nations. These are the things we can do so that the Jeremys will have jobs when they graduate.
Rocky Anderson, presidential candidate of the Justice Party.
It was amazing to me to see that the #1 issue on people's minds in this country was raised as the first question in this debate last night, and neither of the major party candidates answered it. The most we got out of Mitt Romney is he said, I know how to create jobs. This coming from a man who had no problem. He's already said he loves to fire people. He had no problem taking over companies, wringing out all the money he could, and firing people. And then President Obama, he has set our nation's record for the most months in a 4-year period of over 8% unemployment. He has not ever even suggested renegotiating the trade agreements that are responsible for sending so many millions of jobs overseas. We need leadership in this country with people who care about those who are struggling, about young people who are so worried about their futures. And I absolutely agree, we don't let people out of college with this crushing tuition debt. For the first time in our nation's history, there is more student debt than there is credit card debt. It's over $1 trillion. It takes now students 2,000 hours on average to pay for their tuition. When I was going to college, it took about 200 hours to pay for one's tuition. So we need to renegotiate our trade agreements so that we're no longer sending these millions of jobs overseas and we're bringing them back. We need to provide the kinds of incentives so that there is an equal playing ground for those employers who will hire United States workers and provide the kinds of good jobs that our young people should be looking forward to. President Obama talks about his recovery and all the new jobs. The fact is that when we lost all these jobs in 2008 and 2009, 60% of them were mid-skill, mid-paying jobs, and only 22% of the jobs in the so-called recovery are of that level. Most of them are low-paying, low-skilled jobs. We also need a WPA-like project where we're building up our nation's infrastructure and employing millions of people. We can do this, but not with these austerity programs that are being proposed by both Republicans and Democrats.
Let's return to debate. Moderator Candy.